And we are diving on into game one of the top 16. So welcome back. Here going to be featuring over the duels for the YCS 3v3 here. We have Fire King Snake Eye going up against Snake Eye, the pure version of the deck. Definitely two of the most powerful decks in this upcoming format. You know, we're going to be seeing the power of it. Just having like Flamebird and Princess going to be it. So we're going to be very important to see like what the combos are going to be like. We're going to be seeing the pure Snake Eye start off with a Bonfire, very powerful card. We go for either the Ash or the Poplar. But if we see a copy of Droll, it could be turn ending here. So we're searching for that Ash. We are going to be then using it as a normal summon. We do not see anything in response to it, which is going to be an A-OK. Going to be able to let us summon out the Ash, getting the effect to search for a Poplar here. Poplar can then summon himself out. And then we're going to be able to get the effect of Poplar to search for a Divine Temple or an Origins, depending on what we have in our hands here. We end up searching for the copy of the Field Spell here. Going for the Temple, which is going to be able to place either a copy of the Flamebridge or even an Ash or an Oak in the Spell and Trap card zone, depending on what we're going to go for here. So wanting to go for that Ash so that we can either we already have the Flamebridge in the hand and we want to be able to send it, or we just don't want to be able to have that two copies of it depending on what's in their hand or in their deck. So we're going to go for the copy of Ash, sending the Ash to go for the Flamebridge here. And then we're going to be linking away for our copy of the IP here. And then we're actually be able to have Populous and the effect of Flamebridge. So we're going to be placing the Ash and the Field Spell once again, or in the Spell and Trap card zone. And then summoning out the Ash and the Poplar here. We then can link into a Link Karibo perhaps. Yep. Interesting that we chose to not put the Flamebirds in the Spell and Trap card zone here, but we're going to be going for Princess, and then of course Princess can bring back out the copy of the Flamebird, and then that's going to be also allowing us to summon or put out the copy of IP in the Spell and Trap card zone with the Flamebird effect here. And then we can go for Ash plus Princess to go into either the copy of the either for a copy of the Heat Soul, or in this case it would be the copy of the Sunlight Wolf, or a copy of Amboel. We're going to see the activate Wanted first to let us search for the copy of Diabellstar here. So having a pretty loaded hand, but then go for the Wolf here. We can then summon out the copy of the Diabellstar into the Wolf zone to let us add back a copy of one of those cards if we do want the follow-up, but we do. So we're going to be summoning out the copy of Diabellstar, placing a Wanted here, not even putting it in the spell in that zone for the Sunlight Wolf. We do have the Origins to send the copy and still go for. I completely forgot that we didn't have that, so we're actually going to be going. Okay. And then we're going to be chaining to summon out the Link Karibo here. We're going to be able to summon out the Ash, and then Ash is going to be able to. Or we're going to add back here with the Wolf. I think they added back a copy of Oak. I'm not too sure. We're going to go Wanted to put back and then draw here. Yeah, adding back the Oak for that resource management. Then we can go for a copy of Decode Heat Soul, getting us that additional draw as well. Very nice, going for essentially +2 cards here. More than just pluses, but 2 draws essentially there. And then after that, we can go for a copy of Ambuel as well, so that when Ambuel gets destroyed, or Appaloosa as well here, I guess. But we could go for the Ambuel or the Appaloosa, but they're going to go for the Appaloosa for 2 negates here over the Ambuel. But if we did go for Ambuel, we would have been able to summon out the Heat Soul from the graveyard when it gets destroyed with that copy of Princess. But we're going to be setting 2 additional cards here. So it looks like we're facing down an Appaloosa for 2 negates. We also have the IP that can summon back out here. Normally I would probably see the IP going to go for that Appaloosa, but choosing to go for the SP instead because we already have made the Appaloosa there. But going to be quite good against the Fire King Snake Eye deck. But they're going to see their opponent start off with a Bonfire as well. I do wonder what those 2 face-down cards are. Potentially going to be an Imperm or maybe some other card that the deck is playing that may be beneficial there. Also interesting how the things are not flipped We see the field zones being in the same spot for both players. That would have been a little bit weird, having it there. Depending on what player you are. But then we have the talents here. And we have a cross out to stop this. That's going to be quite good. Cross out going to be one of the best cards in this format here. I'm going to be able to either stop those copies of the cards that we want. We did Appaloosa negate that Poplar to search here, or to summon, I should say. But like having it essentially just be able to take or to draw 2 cards is just absolutely crazy. But having that cross out just insane for the talents. We're going to be seeing wanted search for a copy of the Diabellstar here. Diabellstar can send the Poplar. We're definitely not going to be using it, which we are going to be doing here. And then we get the effect of the Diabellstar to be able to set from the deck, most likely going for that copy of the Origins, and we can chain Poplar here to this, but we are going to be going into the Divine Temple as well as a Mourner here to summon out the IP. So keeping that Appaloosa still live and playing Mourner in the main deck. We're seeing a lot more of Mourners in the main deck over some other cards, which is interesting to me because, we are seeing Shifters trying to combat the Snake Eye deck itself. So being able to actually use Mourner, if you're even getting hit with a copy of Shifter, is quite beneficial. We see like a little bit of changes from their decks. Perhaps dropping Droll from the main deck and going for these copies of Veilers instead with the copy of Mourner here. We're going to be going for IP into a copy of SP, and then SP will be able to trigger, as well as the Flamebridge, to try to banish that copy of the Diabellstar here. And we summon back out the Ash as well as the Poplar. In attack position as well here, Poplar can then also activate the effects. We have not used we did put back the Origins, so we can search for that if we wanted to, and get the Ash effect as well here. Can we go essentially search for other cards like the I'm not too sure what he's searching for there, but I know he's searching for the Origins. We unfortunately can't see the last card that he has searched to his hand, which is a little bit unfortunate, but we're then going to see them activate the Fire King Island. I wonder if you do reveal this here. Would you kind of want to make it that your opponent thinks that you are on the just the pure version of the deck as well, but having to maybe activate the Fire King Island. Now you just revealed their entire deck, destroying a copy of Kieran, which can then search for the copy of the Garunix, and then we can go Chainlink 1 Garunix, Chainlink 2 Kieran, forcing our opponent to essentially negate that with the Appaloosa, or we get to summon out and destroy, which is just like extremely important there. And like we don't even have to activate the Garunix effect. You just essentially just chain block. And then we are going to be seeing them negate with the Appaloosa, the Kieran, and then of course we're going to see Garunix on the field. We did Chainlink 1 Garunix, Chainlink 2 Kieran, and then we're going to be activating the Garunix on the field here. And then we are going to be chaining SP to this, target itself and the Garunix, and our opponent just admits defeat right away here, moving on into game 2. So we are into the game 2 here. I do want to apologize if the clips are not the most coherent. 29 minutes still on the clock. We're going to be seeing the Fire King Snake Eye deck choosing who's going to go first or second. Most likely going to be choosing to go first themselves here. We're going to be seeing them normal summon a Poplar. This is not the best normal summon at all. Not even close for them in their deck. Actually, it's really horrible that we end up do normal summoning it. We do see an Imperm attempting to negate that, but we have the Kieran to chain to this. This is the power of the Fire King cards. Going to be able to stop those copies of the Imperms or the Veilers as well. Going to be able to let us essentially get that search. And then we're going to be placing the Spell and Trap card zone, the Poplar and Spell and Trap card zone. We're going to activate the Origins, descending an Ash as well here. But we have the Cross out as well. Holy crap. We're just making sure that none of these hand traps go through. Saying absolutely just no to these hand traps. We're just not having it here. So now we're going to be seeing both players end up being on the crossout chart. Having the... that's not the right Kieran. I don't know why they're highlighting the Kieran there. Not the right card at all. But we summon out the Ponix. Ponix can then search for the Sanctuary, which is going to be then placing the copy of the island on the field. And then we do have the talents as well, crossout and talents. And we see Flamebird, Ash, as well as Bonfire. Well, we know it's definitely not going to be the Flamebird being returned to the hand. Most likely going to be choosing the copy of the Ash here. So making it so that we know what the Bonfire is going to be searching and we can stop that. Opening, we see here from both player sides, opening up a Poplar, opening up a copy of Flamebird. This is going to be the format that we end up seeing. But we still can play through this, with the copy of Crossout as well as talents in the hand. Then we're going to go for, obviously, the Destruction. We're going to be destroying the copy of the Ponix, which will then summon out the Kieran, or not the Kieran, but the copy of Garunix. Garunix is then going to be destroying the copy of Arvada, because we already have Kieran access on the field here. Arvada is going to be able to summon back out the copy of the Ponix. And we have zero risk here making any of our plays. We already seen what our opponent has. And then, we can just go into a Hita, which can take the Ash, which can then go into a Premium Princess here. Princess can reborn out the copy of the Arvada. And then we can link away for the copy of the Amber Whale here. And we haven't even used any of our copies of the Sunlight Wolf here. But choosing just to go for a basic Fire King combo. Not really any Snake Eye cards going to be relevant here. We're going to be seeing them pass turn on this. We're going to activate the Bonfire, and that's going to let us search for a copy of the Ash. So maybe not having the best top deck in the world here. We have the Imperm for the Arvada. So now all they have to do is play through an Ash, which we can just normal summon, activate the effect. We can't negate it anymore with the copy of Arvada. So essentially just playing through a Kieran here, or not a Kieran, but going to be a Kieran and a Garunix, as well as the copy of the Big Garunix, Kieran, Princess is going to be what we're going to play against. So then we're going to be summoning out the copy of Princess, destroying the copy of Arvada, as well as the copy of Ash. And then we can activate the effect of Garunix, as well as the Arvada. Summon out the Kieran here, and then the Garunix. This will let us go for, if our opponent does special summon, it can go for the Garunix Eternity if we want to, as well as we're going to be able to activate the effect of Garunix to destroy the Kieran, which can then summon back out the Arvada and pop the copy of Popless, which can put itself in Spell Trap Chrono. We're just going to scoop it up here, realizing the game is going to be far too long, and that is game 2. Back into game 3. We are going to be seeing the Snake Eye deck choosing to go first. We see that handshake there, both being 1-1 at this point, with 19 minutes or almost 20 minutes onto the timer here. That game took 9 minutes there, and most of it was just a turn 1 combo. But we see that Snake Eye Ash being normal summoned here. Very, very powerful there. And then we're going to be summoning out the Poplar here, or searching Poplar. Poplar summon itself out. You guys all know how this goes. You guys don't need me to be explaining any of these cards here. But we are going to be then searching for the copy of Temple, activating the Temple, which can then place a copy of either Oak, Ash, or Flamebird. Going for that Oak, so when our opponent does summon, we can actually reborn out here. And we're going to activate the effect of the Ash, setting itself plus the Oak to go for that Flamebird. So when that Flamebird leaves the field, we will be able to summon back out the Oak as well. I'm getting that additional body. So that hand not looking like there has much extenders in it at all. But we do link away for a copy of the IP. And then we're going to be seeing Flamebird as well as the Ponix effect going to be activated. Placing the Oak into the Spell and Trap card zone, which can then summon out the copy of of the Poplar and the Ash. So wanting our opponents to be able to, or on our opponent's turn, to be able to activate the effect of the Oak to summon itself out. Of the Temple to summon out the Oak, I should say. which can then reborn out the Ash and get us to the continuing pieces that we need. But we have the Nibiru on the summon here, but this play does allow us to play through the Nib. Nib's going to be summoning out, putting the token onto the field, and we will be able to activate the effect of Temple to summon back out the Oak. Oak can then activate the effect, and then we can activate, be able to summon back out here. And we do have a Bell for that, which is quite devastating here. We are playing around the Bell with the copy of Flameburge, but having that Nib Bell combo is just absolutely just brutal here, especially when we were trying to go for that copy of the Oak. We could see potentially a copy of, I don't think you could make SP because SP requires effect monsters here. We do have a copy of the Bonfire here, searching for a Birch. Birch can then summon himself out. I'm actually not that familiar with the Birch. I have to read it over because I do not play it in my copy of it is. If you control a fire monster, you can special summon this card. Okay. And then we're going to go for a copy of the Nightmare Phoenix. This is going to be one of the new techs that we have seen from the UDC and prior to it, in the Costa Rica. Going to be just a generic Link 2 fire that can be either be used to climb up or having that copy of the Zelantis OTK. Going to be able to destroy cards. We are going to go for a copy of the Flameburge here. Flameburge is going to be putting the copy of the IP into the Spell and Trap card zone. Interestingly enough, we're not going for the Princess line here. We have deck lockdown. There's no way. What? Holy, I haven't seen this card in such a long time. I know when I was playing Unchained, this was a very popular tech from Thomas. But we're going to be seeing our opponent is going to just not admit defeat here, but just pausing the game because of the fact that our opponents our teammates here have won. So we won't have to play out this match. But looking at what the cards have they hand in hand, I wanted to be pausing the video just to let you guys see. So we can see the Cosmic will be able to react with the copy of the IP in the Spell and Trap card zone, which is also important because we do have the talents in the hand. So, we can activate the effect of Flameburge, summon out the IP, and then, of course, we can chain the copy of Cosmic onto the IP when the Flameburge activates. Therefore, banishing it, we still have activated the effect of a monster. Therefore, you can activate the talent. We can't draw essentially 2 cards here because there's not really much in our deck that we can't draw. And if they do attempt to draw, we will be hitting them with that Ash Blossom there as well. So chances are we would be attempting to take the Flameburge and just being able to attack with some life points here. As well as, if we can have an additional normal summon on the field, there's going to be quite an impact on what we can do. We could potentially even put Flameburge effect, putting the copy of I don't even really know what you want to do here. Putting a copy of the Ponix, or not Ponix, but the Poplar into the Spell and Trap card zone for yourself. There's lots of options that you could really do. And just passing on that, and then obviously just going to be able to summon out the monster and then get the effects through that way, because we are playing through deck lockdown and our opponent would be essentially on 0 cards with very low life points. But they do have the Imperm as well to deal with those cards, and if we try to link up and then summon back out. So it's really important that we do, and I think we see a Kieran as well as the big Kieran there, so chances are you would have been able to take the card, which would have been the Flameburge, and then we could just go Kieran, destroy the other Kieran, summon itself out, and that itself there is just going to be game. So we really would have been seeing the Fire King Snake Eye deck taking the win there if the Snake Eye deck did not play it correctly. Maybe we want to play around talents that we end up seeing. But regardless, hope you guys enjoyed watching the video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe to see more content like this. Don't forget to stay safe. Peace.